I'm gonna record this again. What's up, guys? It's Bean. I just recorded an entire freaking video using the wrong microphone, so let's try again. So, I've had a few weeks now to actually get out and play Shadowverse Evolve and watch other people play it. And I've noticed some common questions and misunderstandings that keep coming up. So today we're going to go over 8 rules in Shadowverse Evolve that it seems like not everybody knows, but everybody needs to know. These felt like 8 good ones to start with based on comments I've seen online and situations I've run into while playing the game. But honestly, there's so much more than 8. This could very well end up being 2 to 3 videos. So if I don't cover a question that you have, ask it down in the comments below and I will try my best to let you know the official ruling, and if there's any rules that I don't mention that you think people don't know and need to know, then comment that as well, and I will make sure it gets included in the next one. So let's get into it.
I'm using the right freaking microphone this time.
First up, what is the maximum health in Shadowverse Evolve? Well, at first glance, it would appear to be 20, but that's actually not the case. So, what's funny is in some ways, totally new players actually have an easier time learning certain rules than those of us who have 500 plus hours in Shadowverse Digital. Yeah, I have a problem, but so do a lot of you, so it's fine. In Shadowverse Digital, there are mechanics which increase your leader's maximum health. That's not a thing in Shadowverse Evolve. You effectively do not have a maximum health. So if you heal for 2 while you're already at 20, your health is now 22. Heal for 2 more, it's 24. Pretty simple, right? Really one of the things I'm excited for in like future sets, because I know people are going to try it, is just to see how high people can get their health up to. So far, the highest I've seen, I think, was a dragon player that got up to like 40 or something. I don't know, it gets pretty crazy. The app caps out at 999, so dream big, guys.
I don't know how to act natural with a camera pointed at me.
Let's talk about Spellchain. So this one might seem kind of niche, but I've actually witnessed it come up in play multiple times already, and I was wrong about the ruling for this. Spellchain lets you divide 3 damage between up to 2 targets. Operative phrase there being up to. And you might wonder if you can deal 3 damage to one target and 0 to another. And technically the answer is no, you cannot. But the card says up to 2 targets, meaning you can just pick one target for 3 damage. So what is the difference there? Why does this matter? Well, it matters because rule sharks are out there and they will try to beat you on technicalities. Some of you watching right now are rule sharks. I know you are, don't lie to me. You're probably thinking about calling a judge right this very moment. But the next time you use Spellchain to only target one enemy follower and they try to make a fuss about it, look them dead in the eyes and say, I'm a Runecraft player, I know my rights. Okay, next rule. Warded followers automatically engage after attacking. This one's kind of straightforward, but I saw it asked on both Reddit and Facebook, so yeah, let's just cover it. So you can, at the end of your turn, rotate your followers with ward sideways to engage them, meaning they can now block incoming attacks from your opponent. And that's great, but what if you attacked with them and they're already sideways? Can you still engage them? And the answer is super simple. You don't need to. They are automatically engaged after you attack with them. When you turn a warded follower sideways at the end of your turn, you're basically just treating that follower as if it had attacked, and it's functionally the same thing. So guys, if you watched the first video, you might remember that I recommended picking up Forte, and I regret telling you that. Not because I was wrong. Forte is actually insane. I'm just really tired of her coming out and deleting half my health every day. When I'm playing Forest, she's not too bad, but when I'm on Rune, it's rough. I do Spellchain Rune instead of Dirt Rune, and it just makes it freaking complicated, because she's got Aura, so I can't target her with any spells. What does that even leave me? Well, apparently it leaves me Angelic Barrage. So Angelic Barrage does not target a follower, it just deals damage to all enemy followers, which matters because Aura does not prevent damage from spells, it just prevents you from selecting that follower as a target. But because Angelic Barrage does not target followers, it just indiscriminately deals damage, you can actually kill Forte by dropping 3 Angelic Barrages, which It's not a great plan, but it's technically possible. We're moving on. And then we've got Blackened Scripture against damaged targets. So this one is very simple, but super important. Blackened Scripture can banish an enemy follower with 3 defense or less, but this doesn't mean the defense number that's printed on the card. It is referring to the follower's current defense. So for example, if an enemy follower started with 4 defense, but you damaged it for 1, it can now be targeted by Blackened Scripture. On the flip side, let's say your opponent has a 1/1 fairy that's been hit in the gym, and it's currently sitting at 5/5. You cannot target that fairy with Blackened Scripture. Next one, followers have Rush after evolving, or essentially they have Rush. Another super simple one, but I see this get asked constantly on Reddit in particular. If you play a follower and then evolve it, it effectively has Rush. And it can attack other followers on that turn. Additionally, evolving does not give something summoning sickness, so if you played a follower last turn, but you evolved it this turn, you can still attack the enemy leader with it like normal. After that, this one is super important to me personally, so we're going to cover max deck size and Evo deck size. So technically this is 2 rules, I guess, but they go together, so we're going to cover them together. Max deck size is not 40, it's actually 50. 40 is just the minimum. You typically want to run the minimum number of cards because it increases your chance of drawing each individual card and makes the decks a lot more consistent. However, let's say you're playing something like Spellchain Rune that aggressively draws and discards, and you just keep running out of gas. I would argue that in certain circumstances you can actually benefit from having more cards in your deck, especially since you can search out the cards you need with Merlin. So don't be afraid to go over 40 cards when it makes sense to do so, just don't go over 50. On the reverse end, your Evolve deck has a max size of 10, but a minimum size of 0. So I run a deck that only has 6 Evolve cards in the Evo deck. Why? Because that's how many followers I have that even can evolve. So don't think you have to get it up to 10. You technically don't need an Evolve deck at all. I mean, you should have an Evolve deck, but you don't have to. Last rule for the day, what the heck is going on with Fanfare? So Fanfare is a lot simpler in SVE than it is in online Shadowverse, and ironically, that has some people confused. It had me confused. So in Shadowverse Evolve, Fanfare happens when a card with Fanfare enters the field. That's it. Whether it enters from your hand, it enters from the deck, it enters from the grave, it gets summoned by an effect, whatever. If it enters the field, it triggers Fanfare. And the Fanfare triggers the moment it hits the board, in case you were wondering about any sort of timing. So even if it comes out and instantly dies, the Fanfare still happened. That's going to be it for this video. Please let me know if I explained all of this well. If you have any questions, leave them below. You might have noticed from my previous videos that I read literally every comment. So if you ask a question, I will almost definitely respond. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.
Get blasted, loser!